teams in the NFL. That was his first team as an owner that had a winning record, made it to the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin were 25. Emmitt Smith was 22, a year younger than Zeke Elliott is right now. Well, this Cowboys team is even younger than that one. The youngest team in the playoffs, all 22 starters under age 30. The last playoff team that could say that, the 1987 Saints. Those 1991 Cowboys, they also won in the wild card round. They lost in the divisional round, but the next 2 years they won the Super Bowl. So that's going to be a tough act to follow. MJ.
Thanks, Randy. Well, there's no denying the challenge ahead for this Rams defense. They face a Cowboys team with the league's rushing leader in Ezekiel Elliott and a dynamic quarterback in Dak Prescott who can scramble. Defensive coordinator Wade Phillips said that they have to contain Zeke from the jump. Coach said, quote, "We can't let Elliott run wild on us." Now, all week long, head coach Sean McVay said that run defense was a point of emphasis. He said gap integrity and fitting blocks up front will be the key here. But they're also not ignoring the aerial attack. The addition of Amari Cooper has bolstered this Cowboys offense. And Wade Phillips noted that Amari had a 100-yard receiving game last week. They've been looking at him very closely this week as they ramp up for this game. Colleen?
Yeah, MJ, and then especially after seeing what Dak Prescott did last week with his scrambling ability to really change the game there at the end in such a big spot. This team, it's dangerous. All right, so let's break it down a little bit. How should the Cowboys attack the Rams defense? What do you think, Mike Rob?
I know for me, and I know this may sound unconventional coming from a former running back, but I'm going to say, and MJ just put it out there, the Rams defense, they want to stop Ezekiel Elliott. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I throw to run, and I will throw to get Amari Cooper, his matchups, to get that extra defender out of the box. And once that extra defender gets out of the box, that's when, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott starts to take over this game. This dude is a route technician. He understands how to get open. He understands how to break his route off quick. Steve, you talk about that all the time when you see blitz looks. Very, very accomplished receiver. He has struggled against Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters in the past, but that was when he was with the Oakland Raiders, okay? He's with the Dallas Cowboys, and I really think they need to throw the ball to open up some things up underneath for Ezekiel Elliott.
That is not good. Not good at all.
Not good?
That is not good.
Why not?
Why not?
Just because if you're relying on Dak Prescott to throw you into the game to win, where their real franchise quarterback is Ezekiel Elliott, not Dak Prescott. I keep saying it, because here's why. And I'm a wide receiver, right? And I despise the run game. The run game opens up the pass, whatever. I don't believe it, but I do believe it. I know it's true, but I don't. It's like
denial.
Totally. I'm a walking denial of the run game. I don't believe in it.
At least you're honest about it.
Yes. But also, too, when you talk about the pass game, you also have to rely, just in case, possibly, that maybe they double team Amari Cooper. So Cole Beasley has to step up. Those guys cannot disappear into this game. We also need Tavon Austin to step up.
Against his former team.
Michael Gallup needs to step up. We need these guys in the pass game to be able to get in there and do some of the things they have not done, leading to why they got and traded for Amari Cooper, which is be present in the pass game, the whole game, not sparingly, all the time. They need to be weapons.
Who would you trust more, Dak or Jared Goff, considering just taking into account the last couple weeks, too, that Goff had?
Neither.
No, what do you mean? You had to pick one, no?
No.
If you had to pick one.
Here's why. Both of the coordinators make these quarterbacks sensational. You put these quarterbacks with a horrible coaching, can they overcome it? And the question with Jared Goff is absolutely not. When we talk about Dak Prescott, we also look at this team is not very good when Dak Prescott gives up one turnover. You go down to statistics, quarterbacks all the time.
But that's like that for a lot of teams, though, Steve.
It is. But here's the difference. In divisional football, you have to overcome mistakes. And Dallas and Dak don't seem to overcome mistakes. He has to be perfect. And playing perfect football is not a good recipe. Errors are made. That's why these coaches get paid, to create errors in these other players.
Especially with Aaron Donald.
Well, we'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
Speaking of paid, Dak Prescott and Zeke are probably going to get some deals, extensions. You said Zeke is the real franchise quarterback. Who do you think is going to get more money between the two of them? Dak! No, it's not an ooh. It's a Dak. It's a slam dunk.
But I like the question though.
No, it's a terrible question. It was an easy question. Thank you. Caught it.
Whatever.
You called it too.
I know.
2 feet
That's
down.
a double dunk on me right now.
I didn't believe he was going to catch that. His eyes was closed too.
Wow.
Aaron Donald, yeah, I body caught that. You said don't buy. Hey, there's Aaron Donald. He gets up the field. Mike Rob, I do like your approach to this game if you're the Cowboys. Throw to set up the run. I also think that maybe they got to tweak their scheme, their run game, just a little bit, because a lot of the runs that have been successful against the Rams, using Aaron Donald's aggressiveness up the field against them. Get him up the field, run the trap block, get in underneath
blocks,
them,
wham
take them
blocks,
out.
all of those.
Because if you try and run a lot of the power scheme that we see the Cowboys do a lot
every single time.
And so now I want to see the toss to the outside, have them chase, and then maybe you got the cut, whatever you got to do.
So you're saying it's going to come down to Scott Linehan and how he can game plan and get on the edges in the run game.
And Jason Garrett. And
Yes.
I think, are we getting to Rapoport soon? He's going to talk about Jason.
Soon. We have to do this real quick, though. Little nuggets for you. How about
screen
this?
that somebody
Put
worked
this
hard
in your
on.
pocket for today. Dak Prescott, since week 12, top 10 among quarterbacks in yards per game
Who
and
was the top
touchdown
five pick?
passes.
Which one was the top 5 pick?
Ooh, on the flip
Since
side,
week 12.
Jared Goff, one of the worst in the
That's
league.
the money time. That's the last
27th
quarter of the season,
in
Steve.
completion percentage.
That's when I need my quarterback to be at his best, and it seems like
Yards
Dak
per attempt.
has been in his best. Second.
Limited.
Jared Goff also didn't have Todd Gurley, too, in some of those games.
true.
And Cooper Kupp, that hurts him not having him out there.
Make those stats work for you, Colin.
There we go. Just saying.
Number manipulation.
Hey.
Want your pen back, by the way?
No, I got another one. It's
Over here.
fine. Keep it.
I was going to put it behind my ear while we go to work here with Rapoport. I mentioned Jason Garrett, Ian Rapoport. 8 weeks ago, some thought he was on the hot seat. Now he's turned it around. What are we looking at?
I'm sorry.
What are we looking at for Garrett in his future? He took my eye out.
No, Mike, I never quite got the sense that Garrett was actually for real in trouble with the Dallas Cowboys. This is someone they've invested a lot in and really did believe, even when they were 3-5, that he was the coach of the future. Now they know for sure. I am told the Cowboys are positive that Garrett is going to be their coach going forward. And after the season, when this all ends, they do intend to begin negotiating a long-term extension with Garrett, one that is expected to be pretty lucrative considering several years back he signed a 5-year, $30 million a year deal for a huge extension. Now he is up not this season, but after next season. That is generally when the time teams do extensions. I talked to a Cowboy source last night. I asked about a possible Garrett deal. The response I got was Rams. They are very focused on this game, but after the playoffs, they'll get down to business.
We sure it wasn't Rams? Leave me alone, Rapoport. You get a bunch of those from time to time.
No comment.
That deal was $6 million a year that you just talked about. I'm looking for a couple of million up above that. I'm told that his people are planning for it already, which means they are adding a lot of zeros here. Chris Richard, let's stay with the Cowboys. Hot head coaching candidate. Mike Robb loves him. We're going to talk about him a little bit later in the show. You talk about him now. He's not going to get a job. What's next? A head coaching job. What's next for him in Dallas?
He was very close to the Miami Dolphins job, was one of the finalists of the job that is eventually going to go to Brian Flores, but the Cowboys love this guy. I cannot overstate, Mike, what the players believe in Chris Richard. He went from a pretty good secondary coach to someone who was calling the back end of the defense to someone who is now calling the whole defense. That is how quickly he evolved as a leader in this team. The Cowboys, I am told, are going to look into in this offseason making him the full-time defensive coordinator. I would not be surprised if that happened. Rod Marinelli has been incredible regarding this situation, giving play calling duties to Richard. I wouldn't be surprised next year if Marinelli steps out of the way, becomes kind of like a senior defensive assistant, and lets Richard kind of roll.
Yep. All right, Ian. Like I said, we're going to talk about Richard coming up. Thank you so much for that info, and I think you're coming back next hour. Yep.
Yep.
Colleen. Hello.
All right, here we go. The Chargers, well, they are the road warriors, you guys. The Patriots, they almost never lose at home. So which side gives in tomorrow? Something's got to give.
Got to give.
We're live in Foxborough. And Patrick Mahomes' breakout season is one for the record books. And he's not done yet. It ain't over. The Chiefs quarterback opens up about his playoff debut. And it's almost time to play. Who said that? The most quotable quotes from around the league, but you haven't heard them like this or seen them like this. That's next.
Boom.